Hey there! Today we're diving into a story that's as puzzling as it is chilling. It's one of the most mysterious and talked about cases of 2024, the disappearance of Anna Maria Knezevich. She was a successful, driven woman with big dreams and a bright future ahead of her. But on February 2nd, 2024, she disappeared without a trace. No clues, no explanations. How does someone just vanish like that? This case is full of twists and turns, messy relationships, strange coincidences, and way too many unanswered questions. The last time anyone saw Anna Maria was at 8:45 p.m. Security cameras caught her walking into her apartment in downtown Madrid. And then, nothing. What happened behind those closed doors? That's the question we're here to explore. This isn't just a story about one person's disappearance. It's a mystery that's gripped an entire community. So let's rewind the clock, walk through that day step by step, and see if we can uncover what really happened. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get closer to the truth. Anna Maria was a woman whose charisma and energy had a way of drawing people in. Born in sunny Colombia in 1983, she stood out from a young age for her drive for freedom and self-expression. She dreamed of a life without limits, where she could bring her ideas to life and shape her own destiny. That dream eventually led her to Miami, a city of endless possibilities where the ambitious come to make their mark. It was there, in 2011, that she met David Knezevich, a Serbian entrepreneur known for his determination and sharp business instincts. Their meeting would spark a story that would later leave many in shock. Their relationship moved fast. It was more than just love. It was a connection between two strong, driven individuals united by shared goals. Before long, their bond evolved into a partnership that laid the foundation for a thriving business. Together, they launched an IT company that quickly made waves in the industry. Financial success, recognition, and influence became their reality. On the surface, their life seemed to be the perfect mix of love, career, and shared ambition. 13 years of marriage brought not only success and recognition, but also growing tension between Anna and David. Anna, who deeply valued her independence, began to feel increasingly stifled by David's need for control. What started as minor disagreements escalated into constant arguments. Their once harmonious relationship turned into a battleground filled with distrust and mutual accusations. By 2023, divorce was inevitable. The process quickly became a contentious fight over high-value assets, luxury properties, bank accounts, and control of their company. For Anna, it was an opportunity to reclaim her freedom and start a new chapter. For David, it was about maintaining the life he'd built and regaining control of the situation. The legal battle laid bare the extent of their conflict. Disputes over property morphed into bitter personal accusations. Years of underlying mistrust turned the court proceedings into an exhausting and highly charged confrontation. At the end of December 2023, Anna left for Spain. To outsiders, it seemed like an ordinary trip, a chance to relax, get a change of scenery, and make plans for the future. But for Anna, this move carried a deeper meaning, the beginning of a new chapter in her life. She had long been passionate about dedicating herself to meaningful social projects. One of her dreams was to establish an organization to help victims of domestic violence. Spain, with its well-established history of human rights advocacy, seemed like the perfect place to bring her vision to life. On the surface, everything pointed toward a fresh start, but this decision would soon become the beginning of one of the most tragic and mysterious stories of 2024. Madrid, a city where the day effortlessly blends into the night, and the hum of the streets creates a rhythm all its own. Life here moves fast, and the little details often go unnoticed. February 2nd, 2024. Anna Maria returns to her apartment near Puerta del Sol. Security cameras capture her walking into the building at 8:45 p.m. Her steps are steady, her movements calm. There's nothing to suggest she's uneasy. The door closes behind her, and the evening seems to go on as usual. But from that moment, things take an unexpected turn. The cameras inside the building, which had been working perfectly all day, suddenly stop recording right after she enters. At approximately 9:27 p.m., the external cameras pick up a figure wearing a motorcycle helmet. He moves toward the building with purpose, like he already knows what he's about to do. Moments later, the entire surveillance system goes dark, the lenses covered with black paint. Every move is executed with precision, as if it's part of a carefully thought-out plan. The questions remain. Who is this person? And why did they show up at that exact moment? On the morning of February 3rd, Ana sent a series of unusual texts to her close friend, Sana Ramos. In them, she mentioned a summer house, a place she had never talked about before. But what stood out the most was the tone of her messages. Short, detached, and completely devoid of the warmth and detail Ana was known for. Sana immediately sensed something was off. She tried to ask where Ana was, sending probing questions to get more information. But Ana's replies were vague, and her usual friendly tone was nowhere to be found. With each new message, Sana's unease grew. What started as a slight concern quickly turned into deep worry. Still, Ana's friends held on to the hope that this was just a misunderstanding or a passing issue. By evening, though, the tension became impossible to ignore. A sense of dread hung in the air as everyone quietly began to wonder what was really going on. But no one dared to say it out loud. On February 4th, Ana Maria failed to show up for an important meeting. This immediately raised concerns among her friends and colleagues. She was never one to be unreliable. Calls to her phone went straight to voicemail, and messages on social media were left unanswered. Attempts to reach her through mutual connections also led nowhere. By evening, concern turned into full-blown panic. Those closest to Ana decided to take action and reported her missing to the police. Investigators quickly began searching the building where she was last seen. Near the entrance, they discovered a can of black spray paint, which they believe was used to cover the lenses of the security cameras. Yet, even this discovery failed to answer the most pressing question. What happened to Ana after those apartment doors closed behind her? The police were left grappling with an unsettling mystery. Clues that pointed to a carefully orchestrated effort to cover tracks, but no clear explanation for her disappearance. Investigators quickly turned their attention to Ana's ex-husband, David Knezevich. Their recent divorce had been anything but amicable, marked by public conflicts that extended far beyond their inner circle. Tense arguments, battles over assets, and mutual accusations had already drawn significant attention. Now, all of it cast a shadow of suspicion on David. The situation grew even murkier when details of David's behavior surfaced from the week before Ana's disappearance. On January 29, 2024, he flew to Spain, rented a car, and began traveling around the country. However, his movements raised eyebrows. His route seemed meticulously planned and far from random. David's attorney strongly denied any accusations, insisting that his client had an alibi and was fully cooperating with investigators. But surveillance footage told a different story. On the night of February 2nd into the early hours of February 3rd, the car David had rented was spotted near Ana's apartment. These conflicting details pushed investigators to dig deeper into David's travels, scrutinizing every aspect of his movements and looking for even the smallest inconsistencies. When David Knezevich returned the rental car, the staff at the agency couldn't help but notice a few odd details. The windows were tinted, the license plates appeared partially altered, and the interior had been treated with strong-smelling chemicals. It all looked like a deliberate attempt to erase any trace, from biological evidence to fingerprints. Meanwhile, investigators turned their attention to Ana's phone records, uncovering more red flags. The texts sent to her friends on the morning of February 3rd were starkly different from her usual communication style. Short, cold, and completely lacking the warmth and attention to detail Ana was known for. These messages left her friends uneasy, wondering if she had even written them herself. This led investigators to a chilling new theory. Someone might have used Anna's phone to create the illusion she was still active and to buy time. This hypothesis became a central piece of an investigation that was growing more tangled with each passing day, filled with new mysteries and contradictions. Every new piece of evidence feels like another fragment of a puzzle, adding details but never completing the full picture. At the center of the investigation stands David Knezevich. His actions continue to raise suspicion, yet investigators have struggled to find concrete evidence tying him to Anna's disappearance. The most pressing question remains unanswered. Where is Anna? Could someone close to her know more than they're letting on? The silence, lack of information, and deliberate efforts to obscure the truth only deepen the mystery surrounding this case. Each discovery, instead of bringing investigators closer to answers, seems to create even more questions. The investigation is caught between conflicting theories, each growing more tangled with speculation and uncertainty, slowly steering the case toward a dead end. On May 6, 2024, the investigation into Anna Maria Knezevich's disappearance took a dramatic turn. Authorities in Miami International Airport arrested her ex-husband, David Knezevich. He had just returned from Serbia when he was served with an international arrest warrant issued by Spanish authorities. The arrest was based on evidence gathered during the investigation: surveillance footage tracking the movements of a car rented by David, suspicious financial transactions, and other findings linking him to the case. These clues solidified investigators' suspicions and marked a major milestone in the search for answers. The news of his arrest sparked a wave of reactions from the media and the public. For investigators, it was a significant breakthrough, validating months of meticulous work. But for Anna's family and friends, it was only the first step toward uncovering the truth. The most pressing question still loomed: where is Anna? In the summer of 2024, the trial of David Knezevich began. However, proceedings were delayed due to numerous motions from both sides related to evidence gathering and clarifying key details of the case. The prosecution presented its main evidence: surveillance footage tracking David's movements on the night of Anna's disappearance, data from his rental car, and attempts to withdraw large sums from her bank accounts. Prosecutors argued that while some of the evidence was circumstantial, it clearly pointed to his involvement in her disappearance. The defense, however, took a hardline approach. David's attorneys insisted that the evidence was purely circumstantial and demanded direct proof linking their client to Anna's disappearance. By November 2024, David Knezevich was formally charged with murder. This marked a turning point in the case, but the absence of Anna's body posed a significant challenge for the prosecution. Prosecutors maintained that the evidence was strong enough to secure a conviction, but the defense continued to highlight gaps in the case, questioning the investigation's conclusions and calling them speculative. The trial surrounding Anna Maria Knezevich's case captured massive public attention. Media outlets provided daily coverage, dissecting the evidence, analyzing courtroom strategies, and highlighting contradictions between the two sides. Every hearing became a spectacle, sparking heated debates on news platforms and across social media. Advocacy groups launched large-scale campaigns to shine a spotlight on domestic violence and the urgent need for better protections for survivors. Anna's case quickly became a symbol of the fight for justice for those often failed by the system. However, public opinion was deeply divided. Some supported the prosecution's case against David Knezevich, believing the evidence presented was sufficient for a conviction. Others questioned the fairness of the trial, pointing out the lack of direct proof and raising concerns about potential missteps in the investigation. For Anna's family, the trial was not just a fight for the truth, but also a personal tragedy that exposed the flaws in the system. They emphasized that their story was just one of many where victims are left vulnerable, abandoned by bureaucracy and society's indifference. For Anna's family, her disappearance is not just a personal tragedy, but a haunting reminder of how pain and loss demand justice. Their only hope is that one day the truth will come to light, and those responsible will face the consequences they deserve. With each passing day and no new developments, their despair deepens. The central question, what really happened to Anna that fateful night, remains unanswered, leaving them stuck in a limbo with no way to move forward. Instead of clarity, the case has become a symbol of unresolved tragedy, where every new piece of information only brings more uncertainty. Was David involved in Anna's disappearance? Or is there something far more complex and unpredictable hidden in this story? The questions linger, but the answers remain out of reach. Friends, Anna Maria Knezevich's story is not just a tragedy for one family. It's a powerful reminder of how important it is to stay alert and attentive to the people around us. It's a story about the fragility of our sense of safety and how often warning signs go unnoticed. Any one of us could find ourselves in a moment of need. That's why it's so important to show compassion, support each other, and stand against injustice or violence in all its forms. We truly hope the truth about Anna's disappearance will come to light, and that those responsible will face justice. Anna's family, her friends, and everyone who cares about her deserve answers and a chance to find peace. If you have any information related to this case, please don't stay silent. Reach out to the proper authorities. Even the smallest detail could be the missing piece that solves this mystery. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for updates. We'll keep you informed about any new developments in this case and share the details as soon as we have them. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones.